Hi, my name is Samantha and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be taking this super large tablecloth, making it the right size for my table, and making a couple additional items to go along with it. Let's get into it. So I got this rectangle tablecloth from this bin place near me. So they get a truckload of stuff and then each day of the week the price goes down. So like the highest dollar days, like every item is $7 each, and then 5, 3, 2, 1. So this, I think I paid $5 for it, and I'm hoping that we can make a tablecloth. It is a tablecloth. Shorten it to be the right size for the table, as well as either napkins or placemats. The first goal is making it the right size for the table, and then we'll see what size pieces we have left over to determine what the secondary or tertiary products are going to be. So let's go into the dining room, see what this looks like, and see how much extra fabric there is. Here is the table in question with the old tablecloth, the one we changed from a circular tablecloth to a rectangle. So I definitely want the new tablecloth to be at least this long, if not an inch or two longer. So let me clear this off. We are going to put the gray tablecloth down and see what we're working with. This is how much excess there would be if it was equal on these three sides, with only cutting off this side of a bunch of extra fabric. But let me pull it so that two corners are how we want them, and then we're just trimming off the length and the width on two ends, not on one. Here's how we're looking. I think that 5 inches of hang is perfect. So that is the goal. So this is how it's going to look. On this side, right here, I've marked where the 5 inches is. This is about 16 inches. So what I'm going to do is go from the edge right here, and I'm going to cut 15.5 off. I do my placemats 15 by 20, so I think I'll be able to get placemats out of this end. And then over here, I have this draped over the chair, but here's the edge of the table right here, and here's 5 inches. So all of this is excess. So for this one, I'm going to chop it this way and then this way. So this will be a long piece, and then we'll have this big piece here. So let me go ahead and get this chopped up, and we'll do the next step. I went ahead and just cut this piece off with a pair of scissors well beneath where it needed to be cut, so that we have some wiggle room, because if you remember from the last video, I did not allow enough wiggle room. So now this side will be much easier to cut. I'm just going to fold it upwards like this, and then we can use a straight edge ruler to cut this end. But this big piece of fabric, which could probably make another tablecloth, I don't need a second one of the same thing, but could probably make another tablecloth. I can make lots of stuff out of this. I have the fabric folded over 4 times. Here is my 15 by 15 ruler. Here is the selvage ends, the folded ends already. You can see my pins are right along this line. So I'm going to cut right here, which will allow some buffer room, as well as enough room to cut off this excess to allow for this piece of fabric to be used for other things. How do you cut on the left side? If you're right-handed, use a second ruler, line it up, remove the first ruler, and cut along the right side. Here is the other edge that I did not cut straight because I cut it with scissors, but I was just trying to make my life easier. So now I'm going to just trim it to wherever the smallest piece is, and we are going to go place this back on the table. I still have my pins in place, so we are going to go set this back on the table for another quick check, and then we can start ironing, folding, pinning, and sewing. Here's our first test trial of it on the table now that it's been cut. So obviously it's going to be slightly shorter because we need to cover the raw edge. If you wanted to stop right here, you could. However, anytime you washed it, it would begin fraying because these two ends are raw. You could just simply serge it if you wanted to, then it would not match these sides. That's kind of how we did the napkins, that they are serged on 3 of the sides and sewn on one side, or serged on 2 of the sides, sewn on the 2 sides. So the next thing I want to do is try and match this hem the best I can. So I'm going to measure how big this is, and then find a thread that matches this as closely as possible. And then we will pin these 2 edges and sew it down. Here we are measuring the hem. So the hem comes to right here. let's take this ruler and see. Okay, so we need to use this side. So it is a 1/2 inch. I absolutely love this ruler. I highly recommend. I bought it at Joann's with a 50% off coupon. I've used this so much. So first step, we can either do one fold, just eyeball it, and then do the second fold to the 1/2 inch right here. Or we could serge this and fold it over once, or serge it and fold it over twice. Many different ways to go about doing this. I am just going to fold it over twice, more concerned about my second hem and being at a 1/2 inch. So I'm just going to pull this until it's at a 1/2 inch and iron with this within. This is made of metal, so it is not going to get damaged by the iron. The fabric is now pinned. The last step is to pick the thread and sew it up. I would have preferred a dark gray to match as closely as possible. However, my multi-pack here only has light gray, and then this one is black, so it's the exact same thing. I am just going to use black. The hardest parts on this is going to be the corners, but I plan to just stitch with this side facing up, and I will stitch close to the edge right here so that I pull in both the raw edge and the top edge, and it is nice and secure. It also looks like it's a very tight top stitch. It does not look like it's super loose, so I'll probably just do a 3.0. The actual sewing part of this is going pretty fast. Here's how we're looking. This is the edge that I did all by myself. I went up this way, intentionally went past, back stitched, turned, and then came back down to secure this a little more. And then this I've just had up against the presser foot, and I have my needle almost all the way over. And this is the original. Let me get the bottom. Where is it at? Here is the original corner right here. So you could tell this thread is not perfectly the right color. However, I think this does look better than if I did it in white or any other color. So it is what it is. I don't think anybody's going to be inspecting it that closely. So let me wrap this up and we'll put it on the table. Ta-da! Here it is on the table. Let's go ahead and add all of the stuff back on the table. Whoosh. Look at this. Oh my goodness. So I was actually planning on making matching placemats, but I love the contrast of the yellow and the gray. I didn't expect to like it so much. So let me know what you guys want me to make with the remaining fabric. Remember, we have a big chunk and then a long piece. I definitely want to make placemats, but what should I make with that other huge piece? Let me know in the comments down below. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.